Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Polished, Shine Bright, and Lead in 2016 to uncover your true essence. This is Sterling Clinton Spellman, the host of this TeleSummit. I am the Polisher, CEO of Polish. Can you all hear me? I hear a little echo.
You're echoing a little bit. Maybe
yes,
I take off the mic.
Okay, let me take off the mic.
Oh, that's better.
It's Russell Periscope.
Yeah, maybe the Periscope is making it echo. Okay, it's good?
Yes, I can hear you better.
Okay. So, Carla, do you still have it on the computer?
No, I just put it on my mobile because for some reason it wouldn't work for me on my computer, on my PC. But
okay.
I'm on my phone doing it. I'm just holding it with my hand, and I guess I'm pretty steady. Let me know if it starts.
No, you're good. You're good. Awesome. So I'm gonna start my spiel over because for some reason it was sounding like it was echoing. So my name is Sterling Clinton Spellman. I am the host of this TeleSummit with these four amazing women, my super friends. I am the CEO of Polish, where I teach women how to shine bright and lead in all areas of their life to inspire others, but most importantly, to inspire themselves. I decided to put on this TeleSummit because this is the time of year where people start to plan for the new year. They start thinking about all those goals, all those amazing plans they had for the current year that they kind of put by the wayside. So I wanted to make sure to allow my tribe the opportunity and anybody else that joins us the opportunity to learn the tools and the different skills and have a plan to shine bright and lead in 2015. So one of the reasons I start, just a little bit about me, I'm not going to go over my bio or anything because you can read that. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about why I even formed my company, Polished. So many of us, and Carla, when I introduce her, I'm gonna tell the amazing story of how Polish even came about. But many of us many of us are experiencing life through our tarnished experiences and exterior. When we are amazing, purposeful women. But a lot of times we allow those things to stop us and we live through that experience rather than digging deep and living out our true essence. So my commitment and my goal to all the women I come in contact with is to make sure that they're reminded of their greatness, to make sure that they are living their life on purpose and experiencing the true essence so other people in the world can experience their true essence. So tonight, on this amazing TeleSummit with these awesome ladies, I can't wait for you to hear their stories and for them to tell you how they've mastered leading and shining bright in their life. Okay? The first dynamic lady I'm going to bring up is Miss Carla Nicole Williams. And I'll tell you a little backstory about how I met Carla. So, on my journey to wanting to really have the world experience my true essence and who I really am, I was a follower of Lisa Nichols. And she had this conference come up called Speak Your Right to Make Millions. And I was like, I'm gonna go. I don't know if I have the money to go. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of work to go, but I'm gonna go. So I applied. I found a plane ticket like 2:00 in the morning one day, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to this conference. Pay for the conference, but you know when you travel halfway across the country, not halfway. When you travel across the country, you need a place to stay, right? So I remember on the conference call that Lisa Nichols had, she said, you know what, check within our Facebook group and see if you can find some people to share a hotel room with. So that's a little bold in a Facebook group where you really don't know people to seek out a roommate. So anyway, I decided I was going to, Carla, you jumped off. Hopefully you can come back in. So
I
I
see
said, you know
myself.
what? Let me put a post out. So I put a. Okay, can y'all see Carla?
Yeah, I can see
Yep.
Carla.
Okay, awesome. Hi, Periscope. Sorry, I didn't say hi. I'm neglecting you a little bit, but join us. Thank you for joining us. Okay, share with your friends and followers. So I met Carla. I posted. I'm still echoing. Okay, so I'm sorry. They said I'm still echoing. I wonder why. I had the headset in before. Let me try it one more time.
Do you have a headset?
Am I echoing still?
Nope.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you, doll. He said, perfect. So, I posted in Lisa Nichols' Facebook group for this event, and I said, is there anybody who's looking for a roommate while we are at Speaking Right? And so, Carla was actually the first person that responded. And so we started talking on Facebook. And then we said, you know what? Since most hotel rooms have double beds, let's see if we can find another person that would like to share with us, or two more people. And so we ended up finding two other ladies that shared the room with us, that was going to share the room with us. So the minute when I flew into San Diego, Carla was already at the hotel, so I met up with Carla. And the first thing we both said when we walked in was, "You're so beautiful." And we clicked from there. We had such an amazing, transformative time at this event. And while we were at that event, we made a commitment that we were going to stay close, but not only stay close, encourage each other to follow through with our goals. And that's exactly what we did. We followed through with our goals. And Carla is going to tell you how she's a best-selling author. Because when we were at Speaking Right in the hotel room, she read us her story. She started to tell us about her story. And we were like, girl, you need to make sure the world hears this because your story is so powerful. And I'm glad to say here today, Carla is living her true essence. Carla is a best-selling author now. Carla is leading and shining bright in her life. So I'm going to read her bio so you get a little bit of a taste of who this young woman is. And hopefully by that time she will be back up. Can y'all see Carla? And Carla can hear me?
I can hear you, and I can see the other ladies, and I can see everybody actually. I don't know why you can't see me.
Okay,
Can you
awesome.
still
A
see
lot
me?
of other people can see.
Yes, I can.
Okay, awesome. As
And I
long as
can see
everybody
you.
else can see you.
Yeah,
Yep.
she can see me.
Perfect. So Carla Nicole Williams is a best-selling author of The Power Within. And she is the inner child pediatrician to women entrepreneurs seeking more prosperity in life and business. Her specialty is helping you heal from deep-seated negative beliefs created in childhood and getting you into the positive action immediately. If you have reached above average measures of success, yet struggle to fully accept that you deserve more, then she can help you overcome your self-worth issues using her signature program, Inner Child Work. Carla, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm on. Everybody else seems to be have fallen off. Unless it's just me. But I am here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you, but we
Okay.
can't see
I
you.
can see I can hear. I don't know if you all can see me, but I can hear you.
Okay.
Perfect. Carla?
Looks like you're
Yes, I'm
back,
here.
Carla.
Okay. Like I can always hear you all. I don't always see you, but I can always hear you.
Okay, so Carla, you can get ready because I mean you can get started because I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. So where did you I didn't hear the end of the bio, but where do you want me to start, or you just want me to start talking?
I want you to get started.
All right. So I know initially when we were talking about doing the blab, you were saying, what is that one thing that I guess that you sort of live by or whatever. And so when
Yes.
I thought about that, it did not take me long to figure out that the one thing that I live by every single day is, reaching for happiness. What I mean by that, I know it sounds cliche, or that's what everybody says, but it's really true, because up until about 5 years ago for me, I wasn't happy, and I overcame a 20-year depression. And you know my story. When I was a 10-year-old, I tried to commit suicide. But for
Yes.
20 years, I was depressed. And at this time, I wasn't depressed anymore, but I wasn't happy either. I just felt like okay, and I was in this okay level ground, and that was okay for me because it was better than feeling depressed. So I didn't really reach for happiness anymore because I really didn't think that it was going to happen for me. And as I, got older, as I journeyed, as I got to where I am today, I realized that it's because I was expecting outside factors to make me happy, things to happen on a certain timeline, or for my career to be in a certain place, or maybe be in this certain relationship, or maybe even be certain size as far as body image. But it was always looking for something outside myself because that's where I thought the happiness was. So for me, the biggest thing that I've learned is that happiness comes from within, and the healing comes from within, and that fulfillment in life, and just all those things that sound general, because fulfillment, happiness, joy, peace, they sound so general, but it's like, to me, the core of a balanced and happy, and as you would say, polished life. So for me, every day I am checking myself inwardly to make sure that I feel happy, that I feel fulfilled, that I feel safe, that I feel at peace, and that I'm not relying on anything like the accomplishments, that I'm doing in my business, that I'm not relying on the best-selling books to make me happy, that I'm not relying on the next speaking engagement, the next dollar bill, the next whatever, that I know that I can get it whenever I want to by just going within. And so that is being, self-aware basically. And so in my work,
Awesome.
with men who I come in contact with, even through, thank you, even throughout the book, what I really do, and you try to find the right words, and I think I finally found the right words, but what I do is I help other people, women in particular, myself, and I know that's kind of like bold in your face, but really, resurrect those core beliefs that I didn't have, or I did have, but I didn't know I had. So uncovering those core beliefs and strengthening those, and for me, that's loving and knowing that I'm lovable, self-worth, knowing that I'm worthy and deserving, knowing that I'm safe and secure, that nothing outside me or nothing in this world can really take away my essence, of who I am, and knowing, that at the end of the day that I'm whole, that I've always been whole, that I'm not broken, I don't need to be fixed, but that there is some healing that needs to be done. So it was the process that I went through, that I wrote about, that I live by.
Carla, we can't hear you. Can you hear Carla?
No, it went out.
Okay.
Oh, it's not the best part.
Blab doesn't want to be. I know, right? Blab doesn't want to be nice today.
No, it's
Usually well.
It's usually smooth. Yeah.
yes, must be a lot of traffic tonight.
Probably. Well, for everyone listening, her story is so amazing, and I'm so glad she was able to capture it in her book, The Power Within, because that's exactly what the polished lifestyle is about. And what polished teaches is to look for those things that have always been there. and not continue to live through your negative experiences, because that's what Carla's talking about. She talked about being in a depression for 20 years. That kind of held her hostage from enjoying who she truly was, because she's always been this amazing person. She's always been worthy of greatness. But because she was allowing, or because she never healed her inner child, this is what she was experiencing. So Carla, I'm gonna let you continue since you're back on.
Yes, it dropped me and I had to dial back in, and I really thought that you were hearing me the whole time. I was really on the roll. So hopefully somebody got it. But yes, I was listening to how you were explaining it, Sterling, and it's absolutely right. And I want to thank you tonight for even letting me share, because anytime you and I are in the same space, to me it's like magic. But I hold you in the regard I just do. And I'll never forget something you said to me at Speaking Right. Never, ever, ever. I won't say it on blab because it's really, really personal, but you have a way of stirring up a person's spirit in a very positive way. And that is what you did for me. It's what you did for me. And we had an incredible connection. Even when you were talking about it earlier, it made me kind of tear up, because that I'm super sensitive, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that, but I am super sensitive, and I've gotten even more so over this last year. But what I was saying is that in the book and in my life, I really focus on what I know to be our core beliefs, and that's love, and that's loving and being lovable or feeling lovable, and that is self-worth, because I know that is a biggie, especially for women, in my opinion, and women entrepreneurs as well. That deserving issue, I see that a lot in myself and in other people. And then also feeling safe and secure in this world, feeling safe and secure that you're taken care of, that there's abundance for you and prosperity for you, and then there's happiness and all this, the great things that we all want, that is there for us, if we just reach out for it. It's just right there. And then the last one is, being whole, because for so many years I thought I was broken, that I needed to be fixed, that something was wrong with me, that everybody else had figured out this thing called life except for me, that I kept making the same mistakes, and that what I did was never good enough. It was just, a mess. And like you said, it's because of my own inner child issues that had not been healed yet, that I didn't even know that needed to be healed, or that I knew, that I had a dysfunctional growing up. Most people, can say that, but I didn't know that those things still had a grip on me, that I was like still in bondage, and that I kind of a slave to my negative thoughts, a slave to my negative attitude, a slave to, the negative things in my life, that I just couldn't break free and be happy. And it's what I wrote about in the book, but it's also what I teach about. It's what I coach, other women on, getting that balance. And the beautiful thing about it is that we're already whole. We're already whole. We just don't know it, because we think something is wrong with us, and there's not anything wrong with us, but we all have issues, that we can heal from, to get us unstuck and moving forward. And not until I went through the process myself, I was held back a lot, and not by anything or anybody outside me, but from myself, from my own thoughts and my own feelings, and the actions that I did not take because I didn't believe in myself, or I didn't love myself, or I thought that I was broken, or maybe I thought that good things didn't happen to girls like me, or good things that happen to girls who came from where I came from, or that I have this invisible success ceiling that I bump my head on, and just not feeling good enough. So this whole TeleSummit is like right on time for my message, and I really appreciate you bringing me on tonight, because I love to talk about this. It's like, it's a passion of mine. I really feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my soul, and I know that you ladies can relate, and people who are on the TeleSummit tonight can relate, because for some reason, it's just that's how it is. We all have something that's relatable, to one of these things, or all of them. And it may be the story is slightly different, or the story might be a lot different, but the inner turmoil can be similar or the same.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's a quote every time I walk into my yoga studio, is on the door. It says, when I see you, I see me. And I think I wish as people we will focus on that, because at the end of the day, we really do have the same dreams and goals for ourselves. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to live their purpose, right? But for whatever reason, things can hold us in bondage. And I like that you talked about that you felt like you were in bondage, because a lot of times, though it's an emotional thing, or it could be a psychological thing, we can physically feel like we're in bondage and can't move forward. So Carla, thank you for sharing. Go ahead, honey.
No, I was just going to say that you're right. Our mindsets are very, very powerful. And like you said, if it's in your mind, to you, it's real. So if you're in bondage in your mind, to you, you are a prisoner of something. So that's right. And thank you tonight, Sterling, for letting me go first. Thank you, ladies, for listening to me and bearing with me with these tech issues.
Carla.
Yes, thank you, Carla.
And what's the name of your book again, Carla? Where can they get it?
Yes, it's The Power Within: How to Heal, Love, and Design the Life You Want. And it is on Amazon. And I always keep copies in my trunk for people who wanted me to sign it, and I'll stick it to them. So if anybody wants that, you can find me on Facebook, Carla Nicole Williams. But it's definitely on Amazon, and it's on Create Space. But you probably just want to do Amazon. It's probably simpler, and everybody knows it more than Create Space. Thank you for asking that, Elvin.
Thank you, Carla. What a powerful story. Thank you.
So, Carla, I have one question before you hop off. Actually, I have two questions.
I'm going to try to stick around as much as I can if they don't keep throwing me off. But yeah, go ahead with the question.
So, and your last comment was a great segue into this question. How did shifting your mindset change your life overnight? Because I know it was overnight. You spoke about this. How did shifting your mindset?
Okay, so you see, that's how powerful the mind is. And when we think about a shift or transformation or changing our lives, we feel like it has to take 10, 15, 20 years, but it doesn't. Because as soon as you make up your mind, as soon as you decide, as soon as you make a decision, you choose something, it starts to happen. And the thing about your mindset is your mindset or your perception is what creates your reality. So if you want a new reality, you just think something differently. And I know that it's easier said than done sometimes, but that's okay. It can shift immediately. Tomorrow, you might need another immediate shift. And the next day, you might need another immediate shift. But the power of your mindset is phenomenal. I know it firsthand. You know it firsthand. When I used to hear people say, you change your mindset and things start changing immediately, I did not believe it. But now I do, because I know it's real. So it's like, just dare to try it. If you just dare to try it, test it out, see if it works, and it will, and then you will see. And so I hope that answered your question. But, you can right now, it's like if you are in a situation that you hate, you work around people, you have a job that you hate, you can be in this cubicle in a job that you hate, but actually be on a Greek island, sunbathing. And I'm telling you, it changes you on the inside. I tried it. Yeah. That's how I know. I'm just gonna go to Greece today. Anyway, it's true. But your mindset is so powerful. We were given that gift. We were born with that gift to be able to change our lives through our minds. We're the only creatures who can do that. So it's really, really powerful, and it does happen. And of course, you ladies know that. But I really like that you asked that, because like if people were skeptical like I was, then I know they're like, yeah, whatever. But it's true. Just try it out. And that's what I did one day. I was like, I'm going to try out all this stuff I'm reading and I'm hearing and people are teaching. I read all these books all the time. Let me actually put it into practice.
Implement it, exactly.
And it works. So yes, it does.
Okay, so one more question. What would be one tip or goal you can let our audience know that they could use to end their year with a plan and start the new year with a bang?
Oh, for me, and this is what I do as well. So I know planning is not a sexy word. You know, who wants to plan, right? But we need it. You know, I'm like, oh my God, who wants to plan? But no, we really do need it. And it doesn't have to be something that makes you want to tear your hair out. Mm-hmm. But for me, if it's something that you have been, you know, it's been kind of, you know, stirring in your soul, stirring in your spirit to try this or do this or finish this, go ahead and do it. Like, take action. Because I know you've heard that from where you are to where you want to be, in between is action. And again, we're so afraid sometimes, you know, of the unknown, or, you know, that we can't do this, or that we're not smart enough, or whatever, that we just don't do anything. But just doing something gets the ball moving, gets you into traction. You know, even doing this blab, I'm like, I've only did one other blab. I didn't have a really good success rate with it. You know, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but just stepping outside your comfort zone a little bit every day, like just a small step, the smallest step that you could take, even if it's just sending an email, making a phone call. It doesn't have to be anything astronomical, because those small steps really do add up. They really do add up. And so that's my tip. Take the smallest next step that you can, and I promise you it will pay off.
Absolutely. Carla, thank you so much. I love you. And I'm so proud of you. I'm going to tell you publicly, I'm so proud of how in less than a year you did the thing that you said you were going to do. You took action and made it happen.
I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea what happened so fast. And that's another testament for tonight. I just really didn't. I'm like, it still kind of blows my mind sometimes. And I'm like, did I really do that? And I did. I did it. But I didn't think that it would happen that fast. So thank you so much. I'm proud of you as well. I see you all over the place. And this is what you should be doing. This right here is what you should be doing. So I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any questions for Carla, or you want to purchase her book, you can follow her on Facebook under Carla Nicole Williams. I also put her book in there. Carla, you can write your link in the message so they can follow you. And if you have any questions for her, please post it. And at the end, she may have to get off, but at the end, we will make sure we get those questions answered, okay? Thank you, Carla.
Thank you. Mike.
Okay, ladies, am I echoing, or you can hear me good?
You're still echoing a bit.
Yeah, you're echoing.
So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to refresh, and I'll be with you in 1 minute. Less than a minute, 30 seconds. Let me refresh because I want to make sure people can hear me clear.
She was still it goes in and out, like she'll echo and then it stops.
That's what I was noticing.
Yeah, so if she's recording it, it's just, I was telling her that feedback is going to be really hard.
Hello?
Hey, it goes in and out. It's so funny. Like when you ask, then it'll stop. And then it comes back on, so.
Okay, so hopefully it stays a little better right now. So right now, I'm going to introduce you to one of she was my first super friend. She's my sister. She is my sister, Elkie Clinton, Miss Savvy Mom Elkie of Savvy Moms Unite. She is a mom, author, and life coach. So I'm going to go ahead and, so before I'm going to give a little backstory before I read her bio, but this woman has not only been a sister to me, but like I said, a super friend. She is really my friend. Not many people can say that their sister is their friend, but she is one of my biggest fans. She's a supporter. She loves me. She tells me when I'm doing wrong and when I'm doing right. She always corrects me with a soft hand. So I'm so proud to have her on this. And for the longest time, I'm her younger sister. Her baby sister, actually. And I know a lot of times she's always like, still thinks she's my older sister because I'm always pushing and pulling and telling her what to do and telling her she needs to put herself out there because she is just absolutely amazing and people need to hear her story. Women will absolutely be inspired by her and she needs to get out of her comfort zone and do it. And she's been doing it. And Like I said, she is. She's been doing it scared, and it's okay. No one said you wouldn't have
Yeah,
fear,
I've been nervous.
right? No one said you wouldn't have fear, but she's doing this. She's mastered leading and shining bright in her life. So let me read her bio, and then we'll get started. Elkie Clinton is the director of diversity programs at a boarding school in Mass. She is the creator of Savvy Moms Unite and the co-creator of the Dream Awake Create Your Vision movement and a life coach. She's also co-authored an ebook with her sister Sterling titled Are You Sleeping on Your Dreams? 10 Steps to Dream Awake. She holds a master's degree in education from the University of Rhode Island. She's worked with several nonprofits and educational institutions. Working as a career coach for some time allowed her to work with people who wanted to make changes in their career but struggled with navigating the process for attaining their career choice. Within her sessions, she developed relationships with her clients, which led her to designing a more personalized coaching sessions for them. Elkie would support them in global setting and creating a vision for their life as they consider their new careers and lifestyle changes, while also providing access to resources in the community that supported them in achieving their goals. Elkie states that it was so rewarding to watch my clients grow both within their career as well as emotionally. It is through this experience that I decided I wanted to work with others to help them achieve their life's dream. It was incredible to engage with young people and adults who envision greatness for their life, but just need someone to help them realize the possibilities available to them. Elkie is a mother to a daughter that inspires her to pursue her dreams. She is also one of the motivating factors behind why she became a savvy mom. She wants to inspire the next generation of women to not only dream big, but to create a life that is best suited for them. Personalized dreams are the best. You can learn more about Elkie through her Facebook page, Savvy Moms Unite, and on Instagram and Twitter, she is Savvy Mom Elkie. Okay, Miss Elkie, please talk to us.
Thank you, Sterling, first for inviting me and along with the rest of the women on this blab to give our to tell our stories and also share our experience and expertise in our field. So what I'm going to focus on really is how shifting your mindset led to progress in my life, and I feel will lead into yours. So one of the things I had to do a few years ago when I was going on my journey to revamp my life, I had to shift my mindset. And one of the things that I did was I had to admit I was in my own way. So for years, I was the type who, I did what I was asked. I was always the one who was responsible. Everyone could count on me. I just did what was asked of me. And when I came to a point where I'm a mom now and I'm broke, I would say broke, busted, and disgusted. I was like in a hole. I was living at home with my parents. I was financially in a horrible place. I didn't feel like I was taking care of my daughter in the best way. I felt like I was really disappointing her because here it was, we were sharing a queen size bed that I'd had since high school, in a room that was pretty small, and trying to make ends meet the best way I knew how, but really struggling emotionally to be there for her. And not talking to anybody about it. People just saw me sort of functioning, but I wasn't really functioning in the best way. So it came to a head one day when I was in my office. I was working as a career coach in my past position. And I sat in my office one day and busted out crying, and I didn't know why. And so I was like, I got to do something. There's a reason why I'm crying. I haven't dealt with my issues. So February 2011, I decided to do a 21-day fast. And that fast was spiritually based. I decided that for those 21 days, I would fast from 12 midnight to 12 p.m. And during that time, I wasn't going to consume any food, but I was just going to have it focused on my spiritual growth. So I started to read the Bible more. I was into my devotionals. I started to focus more on what I wanted for my life in the next few years. And I journaled each day. So as I journaled, I made a list of things that I needed to accomplish within that year that I was doing all this work. I was like, I created a list of, I believe it was about 30 items. It sounds very over the top and very ambitious, but for me, that's what I needed to do in order for me to feel like I was focused on the next steps in my life. So I wrote down 30 things that I needed to accomplish. And 3 of the things that were major to me was I wanted to be closer to God. I needed to physically be in a shape where I felt like I was healthy. And 3rd, I needed to be a really good mom to my daughter because I didn't feel like I was accomplishing that goal. I accomplished all 30 things plus more in that year. And it was truly focused. I was adamant. I was like, every day, I'm like, I'm going to make sure whatever I'm doing, I'm going to work towards those goals. I had to shift my mindset. And one of the things in shifting my mindset was I had to admit that all that negative self-talk that I told myself over the years was hindering me. I was very timid. I was always the kind that would be like, I'm extremely cautious. I am cautious still, but not as I was before. But I would always say, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I'm not sure I can do this. I can't see how this is going to work. That was the first thing I would say. Now I'm like, how can I have this done? And I would switch my language. I'm like, I can do this. I will do this. This will happen in the next 2 years. That's what I started doing. And I saw 180 in my life. I saw things change for me. I ended up getting, sorted out for a position I didn't even apply for. I didn't apply for this job. The school just happened to see my resume and was like, hey, called me in the middle of July and was like, do you want to start a job in 2 weeks? What?
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, no, you're telling me to pick up my kid and move somewhere I've never been without my family. I've never been too far away from my family. They've always been a real strong presence in my life. I'm dad of my daughters. So they were telling me my daughter's about to turn 5, that I'm about to leave and be on my own, which was extremely scary.
Elkie, can I stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
You said something that I want to make sure our audience hears.
Okay.
You said you changed your language.
Yes.
I want to emphasize how important that is. And you can see from the results that Elkie got, and also from the results Carla got, and you'll hear from the other ladies.
Oh, that changed. That
changed your language.
Had they called me, let's say back in 2011, before February 2011, and said, come out here, I would have said no, because I was scared. But by then, I'd already been doing the work. I'd already started, changing the way I spoke. And it took me a minute, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go interview. Let me tell you, I knew I had that job by the end of the day. I knew I had it. I was so confident in myself. It showed. I had, I was looking my best. I'd lost some weight. I was feeling a little more confident in myself. I pretty much knew by the time I left, I was going to be at that place. And I knew that I was going to be changing my life for the better. And I knew it'd be a better school environment. One of the things I wrote down is I want a better school environment for my daughter. Change her school environment. I said I needed to be fighting. I wrote down my salary. I got the exact amount. Won't he do it? Like they say that.
Yeah.
Won't he do it? I wrote down the exact amount and I got it. I wish I had written out more though. I wish I'd been like, I didn't know, seriously, as I was doing it, I didn't realize the time factor that it was going to happen. And I knew it would happen. I just didn't realize how immediate it would happen. And I ended up completing my master's degree in the midst of this. I had just gotten this job and they were like, I was like, oh, I might have to take a year off school.
No.
And first thing my advisor said was, no, you need to finish. And I finished it. My first year, started a new job, being in a new place, no family around, nobody to help me take care of my daughter. I did this really with very, without the tools that I'm used to having, without having that dependency. I was very dependent on the people around me and I had to depend on myself for the first time in a long time. And I was like, the only way I'm going to do this if I keep on my path. And I did. I was very focused. I read my devotional every day. I prayed every night. I said, Lord, you are guiding me through this. I'm letting you guide me. And I released any control that anyone else had on me. I just said, God, you're steering the ship. And once I released and allowed him to steer that ship, that's when I saw things really happen for me. And I saw my mindset change. I saw the impossible become possible. I started to think that way. I was like, okay, anytime someone threw a challenge at me, I'm like, all right, I can see how that's possible now. And I can work towards that being a possibility in my life, which is not easy. I'm not telling you this, oh, it's going to happen like this, especially depending on your personality. If you're someone who was like me, timid, scared, relied on others to tell you what to do and direct you, you're not going to suddenly realize that until you do the work. You have to admit, you are the one allowing barriers to seep into your life and cause you to feel like you can't achieve your dreams. I don't let that stop me anymore.
So LK, I gotta stop you because you just said a couple of things right there.
Okay.
So did you notice what the title of this TeleSummit is? It's called Polished Leaders Shine Bright in 2016.
Yeah.
So what LK just explained to us and what she just said is that she was allowing other things to lead in her life rather than her leading her life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, I know, mm-hmm. Once you release those things like Elke's talking about, whether it's fear, mm-hmm. whether it's stuff that other people told you, yes. whether it's the things inside you that haven't been healed, the old mm-hmm. hurts, the negative experiences that you have been going through. If you keep allowing those things to dictate how you live your life,
you are
never going to achieve the things you want to. You're never going to live your life on purpose. Thank you so much, Upscale Soulmate. You are never going to, if you allow those things to dictate and lead your life, you are never going to get to the next level. You are never going to cross over and accomplish those things that you want to accomplish for your life.
Yes.
This is what I talk about when I talk about living life through your tarnished exterior. Okay, Elke, finish. I just had to stop. That was crazy.
No, it's what it is. I mean, it's when you let the chatter, the negative noise, the chatter, the stuff that comes at you. One of my tips, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because I don't want to take it. But one of the tips I have is when you've decided what you want to do, make sure that's really what you want to do. Make sure you've listed all the reasons why it's going to work, why it's going to make an impact on your life, the benefits you'll see. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey.
Make sure that thing is so set in your mind that when you start to hear someone tell you you can't do it or try to convince you otherwise, you've already set up a barrier to stop that chatter from penetrating. You're like, I already know it's going to work. So why am I listening to you? Because it's easy. We especially our family. Some of my family members think me and Stone are crazy. They think we don't know what we're doing. We're wild and crazy trying to do this.
Doing thing. Something different.
But we're doing something that's unheard of. Right. No one in our family is doing what we're doing. So it's uncharted territory. So it's scary.
Yeah.
It's a leap that we have to take, but it's a leap of faith. And we have that faith that it's going to work. I've already seen what my life's going to look like. So for me, it's not hard anymore to visualize that. I've already made that vision board. I've already tapped into it. I've written down my list. I'm not done until it's done. I'm not worried anymore that won't happen. I'm just waiting for when. Mm-hmm. It's a different language. I'm waiting for when it will happen. I'm not saying it's never going to happen. And that's the difference. You've got to really change the way you speak on your life and about your life. When you're speaking to other people, it's got to be so confirmed in your mind that you're going to do what you're going to do. So there's no fighting chance of someone stopping you.
Yes.
There's nobody around you trying to tell you different. And that's what me and my sister do for each other. And that's why she says, I feel the same way. When we're starting to have those moments of like, oh, is this going to happen? We call each other up and we're like, listen, it is going to happen. Knock it off. It is going to happen. There's just a roadblock. Those roadblocks are there to teach you a lesson. They're not there to get you off your track. It's just for you to be like, all right, maybe you need to go a different route. It's not, maybe that route you're going is not going to work. You got to try another route. to it, because being a life coach, you got to get yourself together too. How are you teaching somebody you're not together? So I had to get my thing together to do it. And
Exactly.
I had to be there to give an example to those women I want to work with. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I don't want the women, I don't want anyone to have to go through what I went through in silence.
Yes.
I don't want them to be like, I have no other outlet. Yes, you can talk to family, and I did have family around. I'm not going to say like my family wasn't supportive, but I was so broken and disappointed in myself. Even coming to my family was hard, and saying like, I feel like a failure, when actually you look like you were a success.
Yes.
But I felt like a failure. I looked like a success to maybe people around me, but I felt like I failed. And so I had to admit that to myself, that I wasn't where I wanted to be. That's why I felt like a failure. But I wasn't really a failure. I just didn't get to the place that I wanted to be. So I hope I covered all the things you asked, Sterling.
Yes. So, wow. So you said a couple of things that I want to touch upon. She said she felt like she was a public success, but inside she felt like a failure. Mm-hmm. So I just want the people on this blab right now, on this TeleSummit, to think about, you know how you're showing up in the world, right? People see you and they might be like, oh, she has a house, she has a car, she has a husband, she has a great job, she has a master's degree. But inside, you're feeling like crap. Like, what the hell am I doing? You're feeling like, I know for the longest time I had dreams and goals that I've put on hold because I'm so afraid of what other people are going to think.
Yeah.
I want you today to really dig deep and think about those things that's been tugging on your heart, on your spirit for you to do. That's the very thing that you were put on this earth to do, that you're holding back from. Okay? I want you to just think about that throughout the rest of this TeleSummit tonight. Because at the end, we're going to give you an opportunity to work with us, to continue to play with us, for you to be able to live out those dreams. Because there's a reason why it keeps tugging at your heart. There's a reason why you're not feeling fulfilled when you have all these great things going on in your life, right? Quote unquote, great things going on in your life, and you don't feel fulfilled, you don't feel happy, you don't feel satisfied. Because you're never going to feel satisfied or fulfilled until those things that are tugging on your heart actually come to fruition. Until you start working on those things, because that's your purpose. That's the reason why you're here. So, Elkie, thank you. I want you to give one tip to our audience, okay? That they can use to plan the end of this year so they can start up the new year with a bang.
Journal. The journaling is where it's at. For me, it was an extremely useful tool. Every year before the new year, I always do a list in my journal that I track to say, these are the things that I need to accomplish this year. And that's what I do at the beginning of the year, and I refer to it often because I don't write it, just put it away. I need to remind myself. So journaling, making sure you keep track of those goals, making it realistic. I'm all about it being real. It has to be real for you to even consider doing it. You know, for me, real is not having a 20-bedroom mansion. That's not real. But what is real? Maybe having a 3-bedroom house. You know, that's real for me. So it's got to be real. It's got to be attainable, and it's got to make sense. It's got to make sense to you, those goals that you put in your journal, and go in it without thinking. Go in it thinking the impossible might be possible. You know, it could happen, and you know what, the time frame, I feel like, is there for you to push you and motivate you. But sometimes it happens quicker than you think. We just heard Carla mention, like, she didn't think her book would happen so quick, and it did. So yes, you would have put things in place and thought maybe it wouldn't happen, but in months it could happen. So expect that too, because there's greatness in what we're trying to do here. And if we weren't trying to do good things, we wouldn't have all the blessings coming towards us. So
yes. Yes.
Hey, Elkie, can you just expand a little bit on the journaling? Because I've recently been hearing a lot about journaling. And I think for me in the past, one thing where I did it wrong is that I was journaling only as a vent session, right? For me to get all my negative emotions out. But I wasn't continually confirming and affirming to myself what my goals were.
Right.
Mm.
So here's what I say to kind of flip it for you. So what I would do sometimes is I would start with 10 things that I was grateful for or that I did really well that day. And then once I got to 10, I would keep going until I filled the page. Because what it then does, it reminds you that you have some good that you've done and inspires you to keep doing the good. So that it doesn't become just a negative dump. Because sometimes it is good to get that stuff out and do that vent, but you don't want it to be a daily task. Because if you're focusing all on the negative all the time, how are you reinforcing that positive that you've done and will want to do? So I think sometimes you're feeling that sense of like, I just want to get it out. Just flip it in your mind. Say, okay, I'm going to write 10 things that I know went really well for me today, or I did really well, or I'm really proud of, and just continue. And literally, it will change. That shift in your mindset that you're expecting will happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. So, Elke, thank you so much for that. You can follow Elke on Instagram, Facebook as Savvy Mom.
Savvy Moms Unite.
Savvy Moms Unite. Okay. And write it in the chat so people can find you too.
I will do that right now.
Okay. And at the end, Elke and I have a great opportunity for you to play with us, okay? Awesome. So now, and Dana, I can't see you, but can you hear me?
Yes, you can't see me?
Okay, don't worry about it. Can everybody else see Dana?
No, you can't see her. I can't see her.
So Dana, maybe refresh your page. Because you're next up, girl. And Rachel, I just want to acknowledge you here. So we're going to give Dana a minute to get started. But this is so amazing. Isn't it amazing to be connected to awesome women?
Yes.
Like, and just have the love and support, like you hear.
Oh, sorry, lady. I'm sorry. I'm yelling at everybody.
That wasn't meant for us.
It's so amazing to be connected to awesome women. Like, I feel so privileged because you see shows like Love and Hip Hop and all these housewives of Atlanta, of wherever, and you don't see women really supporting each other. You see a lot of nastiness and cattiness. And I tell people all the time, Dana, we can't see you at all. I think you dropped off. I feel like it's a privilege to be around women who truly support me, who truly show love, and
they want to see you win.
Whenever yes, they want to see you win. Like, well, I think was it Taraji who was clapping for Viola Davis, giving that real
hard. It was so awesome.
It was so awesome and authentic. That's how I feel on a daily basis. Like, I have no reason to fail because I have people that are pushing and just sending me messages randomly throughout the week, throughout the month, telling me, I'm there for you. You can do this. Take the break you need. You are made of greatness. Like, hearing those awesome words to remind me of who I really am, to remind me of my true essence. And I'm gonna urge you to get connected to women like that. And I will offer you an opportunity to get connected to my tribe on Facebook, because I think it's so important for you to really have that connection, because that makes your journey that much easier. That much easier when you're connected to people who are going to support you through it all, because the journey isn't easy. But when you have those people behind you really cheering for you, I'm telling you, you will be leading and shining bright in every area of your life. So now I want to have Miss Dana Lee Jones. So let me tell you about Dana Lee Jones. Let me tell you about Dana. When I met her, she was Dana Thomas, right? And Dana was the girlfriend of one of the brothers in my fraternity. And so I would always see her at different events and parties and things like that. And then over time, I would say maybe about, oh my goodness, Dana, we're getting old.
Yeah.
I would say maybe about like 8 years. How old is about
More
8
than
years
that.
ago?
Yeah, it was about 9.
Oh my Lord, 9. Oh, we became really close, and just really supporting each other through our journeys and through us having kids. Like, Dana knows, because I think I told her on a blab we did the other day, but she doesn't understand how she revolutionized our friends group because of her journey with wanting to have a natural birth and having a home birth and just changing the way she ate, changing. I think, Dana, were you the first to go natural? Changing her
went natural during
hair.
my pregnancy.
I really think you were. Just changing her lifestyle and really not allowing what other people thought affect who she was.
Yeah.
That's like something I really admired about Dana, because my sister Elkie would tell you we have a real big family and love them to death, but somebody always got something to say about what you should be doing, right? And so it's really hard sometimes to lead in your own life, to be the driver, be in the front seat driving, because you always have a backseat driver, okay? But something I admired about Dana is that she was like, "That's you. I'm doing what I gotta do for me. I'm going to have my home birth, regardless of what others are saying that whatever reason was a negative thing. I'm going to change my lifestyle because I know it's going to benefit me in my health journey." So let me plus Dana is a photographer by trade. She's absolutely amazing, and I'm already speaking it into existence. Well, she already has been a celebrity photographer. She doesn't like when I say that, but she is a celebrity photographer. And you just have to, can you please type in your website so they can go there and see? Don't go right now, but go when we get off.
I will.
So you can hear her speak. But please type it, because her photography is amazing. But Dana is a wife and mother of 2. She's a self-employed photographer. So when we talk about our group of friends, she was one of our friends who was the full-time entrepreneur. Many of us are parallelpreneurs. Dana is full-time working in her passion. Okay? She is now finding her purpose through her diagnosis, helping others to be aware of their true health and strive for wellness. So when you hear Dana's story, you are going to be absolutely inspired. And she really, one of the things that we're planning to do in 2016 is to really lead in our health and wellness life, part of our life.
You better.
And so they're so crazy. You see, we can't be in the same room together because we can't act serious. But we are really going to lead in that area of our life. And that's something that many people struggle with. So I can't wait for you to hear Dana. Here's Miss Dana Lee Jones.
Hi, guys. Oh, my gosh. So I'm going to try to get everything that I want to say in 15 minutes, because I did a practice run in the bathroom and it was like 45 minutes. Okay.
But lots to say,
I do. And I'm very nervous at the same time. So, but
you got this.
The main thing that we're talking about here is mindset. And I want to say majority of my life, I've had a very positive mindset. I always believe that I can do whatever, fill in the blank. I'm a person that will attempt to do anything. And I find that once I set my mind to it, it almost comes natural to me. So it's very hard for me to not understand why people aren't achieving what they want to achieve. And I feel like it starts with their mindset. Are you achieving it because you want to achieve it? Is it something that you believe in? If not, then the rest of your body won't follow. It has to be in your mind first, right? And it makes me nervous. And Sterling, I remember years ago, I had said something to you. We were all having a discussion, maybe 10 years ago. And one of the things that I said to you, I said, man, I applied little effort and got major success. I don't know what we were talking about. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember you were saying that you can manifest parking spots. You were saying money always comes to you. I remember that conversation.
So I really mean that. And I remember when I was in that place of always believing that, and things did happen in that way. You can ask Rakeem. Rakeem thinks I'm like a lucky charm because when I want something, it happens. So I'm going to backtrack about some of the things about the health journey that I am on right now and what I want out of it, right? For me and for the people around me, and just to help others, because I believe in other ways and being mindful of yourself and helping yourself, right? So back when I got pregnant, one of the things that I like to do is research like crazy. And then I want to do whatever the task at hand the best way it possible. I need to do it the best way. So one of the things that happened was I got pregnant. I had a baby. Before I had my baby, there were several of my coworkers that just had a baby or were pregnant as well. And they their stories, and they were all horror stories. They were all stories of C-section, sick, horrible pregnancies, emergency C-sections, things of that sort. I thought to myself, there has to be a better way. I don't need to be that. So the one thing that I need to do is educate myself and find out, are there people anywhere in this world that are having really, I'm serious, I was really scared about this. It frightened me really. If the number one thing you can scare me with is my health. You scare me with my health, I'm sticking to the plan. Let's do this. As you can see with my health now, But anyway, with the baby situation, and having a baby, I decided that I was gonna have a home birth, and that was because of everyone else's horror stories. And I had tons of naysayers, tons of people that told me that was a risky option, tons of people that told me that, people that have gone to school that are doctors and nurses that have told me, you shouldn't do that. But I set my mindset, and I sought out the people who believed in me and what I wanted to do.
Yes.
And I have done that continuously. I have found a lot of people through my journey of life that when I surrounded myself with people that believed in me and understood my journey and wanted me to be successful at what I wanted to do, they've helped me. Sometimes I've had people believe in me more than I believed in myself. Okay, so anyway, I gave birth at home, 2 children, and I couldn't ask for a better health, better birth. And it isn't to make anyone else feel bad about their journey. It is mainly because I felt so strongly about what I was going to do. And I do believe that I don't care what was going down that night, I was going to have the birth that I wanted. And I'm being so honest. I'm being truly honest with you.
Yeah.
And trust me, the negativity rolled in. I mean, I had emails and I had phone calls and people saying, don't do this. So anyway, it fast forwards until today, my husband and I, we moved. We pretty much picked up and left out of New York. Not a lot of planning. We just said, let's do it. Who cares? We wanted a different life. We visited Georgia. We loved it. And we moved from New York to Georgia, and we just jumped right in. We took a leap of faith. And that leap of faith was not easy. We swam. We drowned. We floated. And now we're sitting on poolside. And I'm not saying that we're rich. I mean that we're no longer in that water where we thought, oh my God, when are we going to get out of this and be okay? So if you're sitting on the poolside, you're okay now. We're not in a mansion yet, though.
Right.
We're not in the pool house yet. But I mean it. Like, I remember the years that I did not have my mindset. These past few years, my mindset wasn't right. I worried a lot, and I'm not a worrier. You can ask my husband. I don't worry about a lot of things. In fact, when I worried, I was embarrassed to tell people that I was worried. I worried so much, and that worry reflected in my life. It was
leading your life.
It did lead my life. It led in my life in every way. The worry destroyed my bank account. It destroyed my what's the word I'm looking for? My self-esteem. Yeah, it destroyed my self-esteem. It destroyed my business. I was trying to grow my business and it was destroying my business. And finally, it destroyed my health. Okay. And last year, 2014, was a very sickening year for me. I remember worrying majority of that year. I remember worrying from January right up until around October. I worried a lot. And that worry started to play a role in my health. My mindset was all jacked up. I was just going. I know the things that wanted. I was afraid to attempt them. I was afraid to achieve it. I was afraid to go after my goals, even though it was slowly coming to me, but I was still afraid. And it reflected in everything. When it finally reflected in my health, I kind of had enough of it. I noticed that I was sick. Back to back, some sort of bacterial infection circulating me. I was coughing. I always had pneumonia. I had several asthma attacks. I was waking up with migraines. I was always tired. It was to a point where I figured that, okay, I'm dying and I pretty much have cancer. I know it's cancer. I actually called one of my friends. You guys know her, Dr. Sandy Alasan. I called and I said, hey, guess what? I think I have cancer. And I described her my symptoms. And she's like, well, it doesn't sound like cancer, but it sounds like you may have some autoimmune disease. Sorry to tell you that, but that's what it sounds like. And I trusted her opinion. I said, okay, I'm going to seek some help. Now, you know my history about seeking alternative help. I didn't want to go to a regular doctor, so I did go to a functional doctor, someone who cares for the body in a holistic and natural way, and that's the way that I believe in. And Dr. Alasan was right. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And I'm like, man, how could this happen? I really blamed myself. I thought that I did so well with my life and my diet and everything, but it was hard on me. It was really hard on me, and I knew that I had to make some major changes in my life if I need to get better. I've been told by several that this is incurable. I've been told that this cannot be fixed. You just have to take some sort of medication, prescription medication, and just deal with it. And the doctor, the person that I paired myself up with, said, no, this isn't the case. You can overcome this. You will get better. You will not be on prescription medication. You will change your life. When she said that, I believed her. And I was actually a little bit happy. It's kind of weird. But I said, wow, I get to use this opportunity to make major changes in my life. Ooh, okay, let's do this. I cried first. I cried for 3 days. I came home. I plopped on the couch. Raheem said, what's wrong? I said, I'm going to die. And I cried. Okay. And he's like, okay, let's talk about this.
I know you can't tell him I'm going to die and start crying.
But I did, and I was like, I failed myself. And you know what I really told myself when I got that diagnosis? I said, I did this to myself because I was so negative this year. I worried so much. And I really did.
That language.
It is the language. And I tore myself down to the point where my health was deteriorating, So, that was, I made some changes towards the end of the year. I told my doctor, whatever you tell me to do, I will completely commit my life.
Oh, Dana. Okay.
It doesn't right when you get to the
juicy part.
You guys see me?
Now we can see you and hear you.
Okay, if I go, let me know. My phone went dead and I was doing it from my phone because it was a little bit more reliable.
Oh, okay.
So what was I saying? What part was I up to? What was I saying? What was the last part that I was up to? See, my memory is gone.
The last you were talking about you changed your way of thinking.
So when she told me that I had to make some major changes and commit to it, I'll be honest, along the way, I kind of had some doubts. I was worrying about it. And I remember the point from where I agreed to be a part of her program and do this journey to the point where we actually met and started was about a 3-week period because she had several patients. And during that 3-week period, I worried the whole time. And I called her about after a week and said, is there any way you can see me quicker? Because I know you said it's autoimmune, but I think it's cancer. You know what she said to me? She's like, Dana, if you want it to be cancer, will become cancer. I need that.
Exactly.
I need you to put this energy that you're wasting and focus on good health.
Man.
Let's put me in check. I've had several doctors that energy you want to use. This is the energy you want to use. You know, am I gone? Am I here? Can you guys see me?
I hear you.
Okay, good.
Back now.
So let me see. I do have a list that I wrote out here, but I did make those changes, and that was October of last year when I decided.
You're going again, Dana.
Oh my gosh.
Try and refresh. Try and refresh. Hey, everybody in the chat box.
The devil is a liar.
I know we're going to get this message out tonight. Rachel, it's okay that the kids are popping in because this is what kids do. We're all moms now. We know this is what
Look, I'm just
I was like
outside.
But Adriana came in, I gave her the death stare like
I'm like,
I know. You were really good with that. It's like
I know you're
pinching them real low so you can't see. Pinch and twist.
okay.
You're back, Dana.
Okay, good. Oh my God. It's going to chip out again because I've been having some weird connection. I'm trying to get my phone running again. So if it chips out again, I'm going to just jump on my phone. Am I gone? You guys are laughing.
Oh. No, we're laughing at the chat box. Carla said her
get in the way.
Can you hear my mom? Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, so I ended off with 2014 with
yes.
Cut out again.
So
everybody on, thank you for your patience.
Yes.
You guys can't hear me?
Hi, Devon. I hear you
don't
now,
see me.
Dana.
No.
You don't see me.
No.
Okay. Just give me a second.
Yeah, sorry everyone, but this is technology for you. It works and it works.
Right.
So we just bear with us. Okay, I think she's coming on for Rakeem, so let's try. It's really Dana Jones, but she's using Rakeem. Rakeem, this better not be you. This better be Dana.
Oh.
Rakeem, where's Dana?
They're like, oh no, not the camera, not the camera. Face it up.
Rakeem.
I love it too. Okay.
Hello, Rakeem.
Everyone, that's really Dana Lee Jones, not Rakeem.
I told him that, but it's okay. And once my phone jumps on, my phone seems to hold a better connection than Rakeem's phone. So once my phone loads back up, I'll jump back on my phone. Okay. Okay. So okay. I'm so sorry about all the cutouts, but to pick up where we left off, in October is when I actually did all my blood work to find out what was going on with me. And of course, you know that a holistic doctor is not going to be covered under insurance. It's considered alternative. And so I had to wrap my mind about being able to afford this. And I couldn't even pay my credit card bills properly last year. So how was I going to pay for this health plan, you know, or this wellness treatment that I need to go through, you know? So it was something that I said, okay, at first I said, I need to figure out another way. And yes, I'm like waiting for my phone to boot up. I'm sorry. He needs his phone back. I thought you were helping me. So yeah, sorry. Husbands, guys. So I had to wrap my mind about paying this fee and how was I going to do this. And I remember I had made some changes on my own by making Google searches and doing some research and trying to figure out what it is that I need to do with my life to be better. And I actually ended up making some changes on my own, but still not being as where I needed to be. So I had set out a list of goals of what I wanted to achieve. And I ended up making a goal for 2015 that I said no. So let me tell you what some of the goals were, and I wrote it down because I knew I wasn't going to remember everything, but there was more on the list anyway. So it was changing my diet, changing my family's diet, losing weight, improving my health, getting better blood work results. Finances, I wanted to double my salary from last year. I wanted to be more independent. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, and I depended completely on my husband. Not something that I thought I would do, but it came to a point where I finally wanted to get out of that. I no longer wanted to say, babe, we need groceries. Are you going to give me $200 or what? You know? I wanted to move. I wanted a new car. There were so many things that I wanted. I wanted to improve my business. And I want to say that I remember officially at the end of 2014 saying, no, something's got to change. And it was seriously overnight. I'm serious about this. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. I'm not going to worry anymore. I know that everything that I'm going through must be for a reason. And I'm going to make changes. I'm going to find out why this is happening to me. And I'm going to move forward. And through the process, it was hard. It was tough. I had to go through a lot of changes. I had to change my diet. And as you guys know, changing your diet is not easy.
No,
if you
it's not.
ate a certain way for the past 30 years and then one day say, I can't eat any of that anymore, and now I've got to modify everything, it's not easy. It was really hard. It was torture for me. There were times where I cried when I had to do some fasting, and I cried and said, why me? Why did this happen to me? Am I a bad person? But, I said, I know that I'm not a bad person. So there must be some other reason why this is happening to me, and maybe it's because I need to help other people. Maybe through my diagnosis, I can let people know that this isn't there's not just one way of handling this and other sicknesses. Like, I have done so much research. I have done, I have found so many people that are healers, that help people, that are changing lives, that are healing cancers, and I'm like, really, this is the world? And then our world doesn't promote that. Our country doesn't promote that. And so when I found out about these amazing people in the world, I need to be aligned with them. I need to be connected with them. And some of my closest friends are studying our medicine, America's medicine, and it's not the way that I wanted to go by. So just, again, imagine your friends telling you that's not going to work, or that sounds crazy because what you have is not curable, right? So you're kind of like doing this for no reason. Yeah, but after a year of being on the program, I've hit all my goals. My blood work is better. I lost 60 pounds. Everything is back to normal. So how did I do this if this is impossible? And I really felt like I had to change my mind first before anything else. And that's really what helped me. When I made my mind up that this is what I was going to do, I kind of would say the rest was just followed,
Absolutely, Dana. So, wow. How amazing is it that you get this diagnosis, something that might have really killed some people, not only physically, but emotionally, killed their spirit, could have really gone the opposite way. And you were able to make that shift. And you said you made that shift overnight after crying for 3 days, which you're entitled to that.
Of course.
You made that shift, and the shift happened overnight. You made that shift in your mindset. People on this TeleSummit, I hope you're hearing that your life can literally change overnight by shifting
guys,
your language.
Let me switch real quick, okay? But go ahead.
Yes. By shifting the way you think by changing your language, and when we say language, I want to make sure you all are understanding what we're saying when we say change your language. We mean change that conversation that is happening in your head. So we have so many thoughts throughout the day, and I think in a minute you have something like, and Rachel, Elkie, Dana, you could probably help me with that. But I think you're having like thousands of thoughts a minute in your mind.
Yep.
And imagine if that, Rachel, your mouth is moving, but we can't hear you. Sorry.
I think I read somewhere that your brain can process 30,000 pieces of information at one time.
Wow.
So.
Oh my Lord. No wonder some people going crazy, literally. So imagine if you're not in the place where you are making sure that conversation is a positive conversation. You can most likely be having 30,000 negative thoughts. Yeah. And you wonder why you can't make moves on the things you want. You wonder why you're sitting in depression. You wonder why you can't leave that job that you've been wanting to leave. You're wondering why you can't start that business that you want to start. Because you're having 30,000 conversations that are not positive.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes they can be telling you that you're not worth a thing. You're not enough. Who's going to listen to you? Who cares that you had an autoimmune disease? Who cares that you're a single mom? Who cares that, who cares that you can't, I'm losing my train of thought. Forgive me, because I probably, it just blows my mind. 30,000 thoughts. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yep, you're doing, what did it say, 35 to 48 thoughts per minute. Per minute. That's and we always focus on the negative first, because that's the trigger for us. It is the first thing you go to, and having that shift has to happen. It's a daily job. It's a daily work activity that you have to do mentally to really eliminate, or at least reduce, because you're never going to get rid of the negative completely. Yeah. It's going to stay, but to reduce the amount of negative thoughts you have going through your mind, it's work, and you gotta stay committed. You gotta stay, because the world out here, I mean, let's face it, they thrive. Social media sometimes thrives on the negative.
Many people, so you'd be surprised that even your closest family and friends that thrive on the negative, and are not your supporters, because they just don't believe when you believe.
Yes,
absolutely.
And I listened to someone on Periscope, and forgive me, I've forgotten who was saying it, but I know it's April, one of the coaches that we use, and she was saying, sometimes the people who may not immediately support you, may not come around right away, don't be so mad at them, because they're just not ready. They will come in another time. They may come in a different way, but you don't have to be so focused on them at the moment, because that support, they can only provide what they can provide at that moment. So you might want especially from our family, when we start something new, we want immediately all the support around us, and we want it to happen like instantly. But that's not going to happen, because depending on where they are in their journey, depending on where they are, mentally, they may not be where you are. And so you'll have to probably travel that road for some time with very little support until you get to a certain point where they can see it. And then they're like, okay, I see what you've been trying to do, and I now see the fruits of your labor. And now I can understand what you were trying to do. But I mean, we are aliens in some ways in our thinking. Like we're not thinking like the normal person or the average person. We have to think, in order to be an entrepreneur and a business person, you got to think like unlike many people, and you have to reevaluate things on a daily basis, because you're the driving force in your business.
Exactly.
And so you have to be okay knowing that you're thinking different from everyone else.
Exactly.
So,
you have to. They don't want a business.
I get it, and I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So I have one question for Dana.
Yes.
What tip can you give our audience for them to end the year with a plan and start the new year with a bang? What is one tip you could give them?
Oh man. Okay, so that tip would be completely about mindset. And I know I know a lot of people don't grasp mindset. They don't understand it. They don't know that their mind, everything starts with your mind and then everything else comes after. I know it sucks that people don't understand it, but the one thing that I can tell people to do for 2016 is if you want change, you have to change the way. You have to change the things that you're doing, and you have to change the way you think. You have to believe that the things that you want, you have to believe in it. You have to know that you're going to achieve it. You have to know it. If you have any doubt, it's not going to happen. The things that you doubt, the things that you question, it just doesn't happen because our thoughts become things. Oh my gosh, I've heard that several times, and there are times when I didn't believe it, but I do believe it because I've lived it. You know, I know those moments where I'm ever doubting something that I know that I have to just believe it and I have to think the process through, and that's what it takes for me. Sometimes you can say, I want $10,000 by February. And that might be unrealistic because you haven't thought it through. But if you said, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do, here's how I'm going to achieve that 10 grand. I'm just throwing anything out there, but this is what I'm going to do. You need to take those necessary steps and put your mind on it first and know that you're going to achieve it and work towards it. And don't expect anyone to be on the same page as you. Because if you're looking for approval from your family members, from your best friend, from your coworkers, most of the times they don't want to see you get $10,000. It's funny, you know. So,
unless you're gonna share it,
right. Exactly.
So don't look for approval from anybody because if you are, then that's not going to get you anywhere. You just need to know and believe in yourself, and go for it on your own. Because if I had ever stopped at everything that I was doing, and I mean everything, seriously, I've had people all along the way told me that I can't, with the birth, I can't do that. I've had people tell me that I can't be self-employed unless I do this. And I have to have this much money in the bank in order to be this or to do that. And you can't, I've had people tell me so many things that on why I can't do things. And I just said, there's no other way for me to do this than the way I know how. And here's my plan. And not with them. I'm not going to have this conversation with someone that doesn't believe in me, but I just have to do what I have to do. And then people will watch and go, and those are the same people that's going to ask you, so how did you remember when you got that $10,000 in January? What were the steps you took? No, I'm not telling you because you don't believe it. You never believed me. So why am I going to waste my energy on you? You don't believe, so so I mean it's
I hear
you just want yes. and surrounding yourself with the right people that are going to get you to your goal. I'm just using $10,000 as because that's something we can all work on for 2016.
Absolutely.
So if you surround yourself with all the right people that want to get you to your goal and you believe that you're going to get there, you've created your map, you'll get there. You will.
Absolutely. Dana, thank you for sharing your story. You can follow Dana on Periscope, on Instagram, on Facebook as Dana Lee Jones.
Dana Lee Jones photo. Dana Lee Jones photo on Instagram and Periscope. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Dana, can you please post it in our chat box so people can be able to just click the link?
I'll do that.
To get there. I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you for being on. And I can't wait to see the amazing things you're going to do in 2016.
Thanks, darling.
So now we have Miss Rachel V. And before I read her bio, I have to give you a little bit of background. She is the woman behind Polished. She literally gave me that name when we were sitting.
Just the name.
Yes, we were sitting at a sushi restaurant, I think it was, in San Diego. And I was telling Rachel about all my hopes and dreams and everything I want to do, but I don't know a name. At that time, I was talking about Spice Up Your Life. And she said, girl, that sounds like a porno thing. She was like, you might be giving the wrong idea, but but let me tell you how I met Rachel. So remember when I was talking to you about Carla and how I was going to the Speaker Right conference in San Diego for Lisa Nichols? Rachel was one of the women that reached out and said, oh, can we share a room? So it ended up being 4 of us in this room. And we never met each other before. I think I don't even know if we talked on the phone. I think we just like Facebooked. Right. And so we got there that day and we clicked immediately. And when when you're trying to do something good, the devil always has a way to try to get in your business. So when I got there that day, my bags never showed up. Here I am in California, in San Diego. I don't have a car to even get my bags from the airport when it arrived, but luckily they did bring it the day after. But here I am for this conference, and I literally have no clothes to wear. So that night while we're in the hotel, just talking, getting to know each other, Rachel goes, Sterling, why are you worried about it? We have clothes. I have some clothes that can probably fit you. When I tell you, I got shoes, I got Spanx. I got a full outfit, jacket.
The outfit was hot. I remember that.
The outfit was hot for Rachel. And I mean, you would have thought this was my own outfit I bought, and that they actually tailored it for me. That's how nice this outfit fit. And then on top of that, Rachel brought all of us wraps. All the women in the room, she brought us wraps. I had PJs, I had everything. Like, I mean, it was like we knew each other forever. But this is the type of person Rachel is. She's a very caring and loving person, and she's a beast. I think Carla just wrote that in there. She's a beast at creating programs and products and just really being the mirror for you to see your greatness. That's the type of person she is. And let me tell you, we took San Diego by storm. We were walking around to different stores and stuff, and people would not leave us alone. They were like, who are these 2 ladies? They were like crushing on us, right? So let me get into her bio so you can know a little more about her. But she is Miss Rachel V, and her tagline is serve many, sell more, and sleep in. She has 13 years with multiple Fortune 50 companies as a business consultant. She's launched nationwide campaigns affecting over 6 million clients annually, participated in product development in multiple nationwide markets, grossing over $7.2 million in sales. She's been a national marketing and communications manager for S&P Trading Organization. She developed white label web-based training and certification content sold to 4-year universities across the U.S. She was the youngest director at age 25, promoted to senior leadership role at the largest Hawaii healthcare provider. 100% of small business clients were profitable within 6 months of business working with her. Personally grossed over $2 million in revenue from client engagements. She's a Stephen Covey World Leadership Program graduate. And that's tell me the name of his book again. The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People. She's a 6 Sigma Green Belt, trained project management professional, and overall nice person, and is severely allergic to snobs. I love that one. She's so down to earth. She's severely allergic to snobs. And she's a mother to 4 boys. Wow. So when I tell you, I remember having a conversation to Rachel when we were in, I think it was the last day. And she and another sister we met out there, Mika Meshach, we were talking. I was like, I don't know how you're doing. Like, because Mika, I think, has 3 kids. She has 4 kids. And they're working full-time and raising their children and being an entrepreneur. I was like, how do y'all do this? I don't think I'm ready to have kids. And it was like, watch, you can get pregnant soon, and you can do it, and you're going to be a great mom. And I swear they put something in my water. because not even 6 months later, I turned up pregnant.
A little something to do with it, okay? It's not all me and me.
So, Miss
Yes.
Rachel,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank you. Yes. Can you
I
hear
can hear you
me?
good. I can hear you.
Okay, so please tell us how you lead and shine bright in your life, and tell us a little bit of your background and your story, and then you tell us how you lead and shine bright in your life.
Just sitting here listening to you kind of rattle off the stuff that you said, even though I know what it is because I gave it to you, it's from my website, it just feels a little like, oh, it's like you don't want to be braggish, right? There's that part in you is like you don't want to stand out and make other people feel uncomfortable. And so a lot of my story
Yes.
is stemmed in that in realizing that your greatness
Mm-hmm.
isn't overshadowing anyone else's greatness. There's enough for all of us to shine bright, So
Yep.
hearing that about yourself doesn't mean that you're putting down someone else or that you're looking down on anyone else. You're just proud of the things that you have done. And that's
Absolutely.
something that's taken
Yes.
me, a long time to learn. I'm still learning it. I'm still um, working on my comfortability with that. And all of those things are true. I've lived through that. I've done that, but hearing it and, like how we talked about the self-talk going on in your head of like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want people to think I'm stuck up. Oh my gosh. I don't want them to think I'm some kind of, faker or I'm trying to be blah, 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 blah. That is at the core of some themes that have gone on in my life as I've gone through different really held me back because I grew up in Hawaii and in Samoa island life, and you guys um, have experiences with cultures outside of the United States, and where I grew up in a
Yes.
very small place, you don't get praised for your own individual accomplishments. You get praised for how you
Yes.
serve the community and how the community rises because back in the day that's how they survived. They survive and they thrive as a whole. And I totally believe that, and there's a reason for that, but there's also a reason to praise people individually because we're all on our own journey.
Right.
And that's something that really has stifled me as I move forward because I always wanted to do well and I always wanted to help people, but I wanted to do it quietly. I wanted to do it like, you know, I may do this in my in my professional life or in my business, but at home, I'm just Rachel, or, I'm just the youngest daughter of Pat and Salu, or I'm just the youngest sister, or, I'm just blah, 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 blah. And not realizing that steals some of your power. Between being
Yes.
humble and not fully embracing who you are. And, sometimes two things can get mistaken, right? You can have a ton of humility, but still be powerful. Um, you know, so I think a lot of those themes are things that came up in my life as I continued to climb up the corporate ladder that, I had a lot to say and I had a lot to contribute, but I would always come in kind of quiet and sit back for a little bit and just like I'd be in my head, and then when an opportunity to speak, then I hit them with that. But I was kind of just waiting for people to give me just a little bit of crack in the door instead of making my own way, and having the mindset that I have now 10 years ago, boom, it'd be completely different. It'd be completely different. And so, I just kind of wanted to talk about that piece, especially with women. I think it's a universal theme with women where, we're not quite confident or as confident as we can be with ourselves. And then that reflects on how we interact with other women, right? So because I don't come off a certain
Yes.
way, that I'm going to have this conversation versus the other conversation. I'm going to just switch my facial expressions or switch how much I share. I want this favorable result versus the other. And I just really feel we miss out by not express ourselves and celebrate our, a lot like what you say in terms of not having the support and friends. I know Elkie said these are like aliens, like people that you love you for who you are at the moment. They may not love you who you're becoming. So, they like Tom, Ray, who, I remember my shirt on and I'd be 4 years old.
Are you guys?
And so I was out there in the dirt with rocks and stuff like that. And there was no, sophistication. There was no polish or anything about it. And the friends and the family members that loved me at that age may not be the Rachel that I've become. And it's taken me a while to be able to be okay with that, especially because those are people that you've grown up being taught to love and respect, right? So, you want to have their approval, you want to have their validation. And I just think that as entrepreneurs, as women, that we need to seek out and find people that share the same vision that we have for the future, right? So, you may not have the circumstances as me right now, but we're both working towards that $1 million 2016, and it's not dollars, it's so that we can change lives, help people with that prosperity. So I'm looking for people that are confident enough to stand in who they are, that can support me and stand in who I am, and help me on this journey that I'm working on. It doesn't matter where I am right now. Like right now, I'm sitting in the garage because my kids are making too much noise. Like it means nothing to me whatsoever. What I'm looking for are people that have the same future vision as me. And I think all of us entrepreneurs need to find that support system and that tribe, because that's going to make your journey so much easier, right? Like you said, Sterling, so much easier, and also so much more enjoyable, right? It doesn't hustle the whole way through. It doesn't have to be the whole way through. You don't have to grind every. Some of it can be brainstorming. Some of it can be, exciting. Some of it can be inspirational. You can inspire your way throughout your journey. It doesn't have to grind every single day. I think the people that you have around you, that you choose to have around you, right? Because you can fire your kids every other week. You could send, two sentence emails to your mom. Love you, Mom. I hope you're doing good. Wanted to let you thinking about you. Bye. And keep it right there. No disrespect, but I'm living a life that you can get it. And I love you for it.
Absolutely. Rachel, can you do me a favor? Can you refresh because you're breaking up a little bit? Is it only me, ladies? Elkie.
On my end, she just echoed a little bit.
On my end, she was
okay. So I'm gonna let her.
She's going in and out.
Okay.
Going in and out.
Let me see, because she was saying some good stuff.
Hear, what she had to say.
1 second.
Okay.
Okay, how's that? Can you get better? Okay.
Oh, that's much better. Okay. You were saying about calling your mom.
That you gotta fire your friends. You gotta keep your family at where you can continue to love them. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna cut you off. I can't cut you off. We're gonna be family forever. It would break my heart to cut you off. But we also can't. I'm not gonna debate with you. My choice is to live my life as an entrepreneur. I'm not gonna debate with you. I'm totally fine leaving a 6-figure job to start my own business. Like, you're never gonna get it. And I love you, and that's it. So we're just gonna agree to not talk about that, and we're gonna stay where we can continue to love each other.
I think, Rachel, what you just said is it's so powerful, but one of the hardest things for me. to really understand and get, because I'm the baby of the family as well too. So it's very hard to stand up for yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to have this conversation with you. We're going to talk about family stuff. That's cool. But I'm not going to talk to you about why I want to lead in my own life. Because one of the most important things, hi, Yakima. She's another one of our speaking right girls. But yes, one of the hardest things to really say, you know what? I'm gonna be a unicorn. I'm gonna be that weird person that's doing something different than what everybody else is doing in my family, what everybody else is doing in my friend group. Even sometimes your spouse. I think I have a supportive spouse, but some people don't have a supportive spouse. And so they're really kind of like working underground to make this work. But you really have to get to the place where what other people think doesn't matter.
You have to fill that void, though, right? So you have to fill that with people who cheer you on, right? So like in my real everyday physical life, people that I can actually see, touch, all of that stuff, none of them get it. You know what I mean? I have no idea. I live my life online. That's where I get my energy, these types of conversations and connecting with women like you. So I just feel like, yes, it's a struggle, but if you're watching us right now, you have every opportunity to find that support group. You have every opportunity. You have to grind it out by yourself and stay in those bottlenecks or in those areas that's not allowing you to move forward, because you can find support groups, Facebook groups, masterminds of other people that are on the same path as you. And they may be people you never meet. I may never have the opportunity to meet Dana in person, but I know we have the same mindset. So that's an opportunity for all of us to get the support that we need to get to the next level.
Absolutely. And on that note, I want to invite you all to join the Polished Lifestyle community. And that community is created with you in mind. It's created with you in mind because I wanted to make sure that people who thought like me, people who are looking for that support, they're looking for opportunities to connect, tools and resources to be able to start that business, to be able to say, you know what, I just need someone to talk to. I need to brainstorm. I need to brain dump about what I'm going through. That group is for you. I created that group for you. So I put the link in the chat group. It's called the Polished Lifestyle Community, and it's there for you. Join my tribe. Have the support that you need, because it's not easy. If it wasn't for, like Rachel said, if it wasn't for the different Facebook groups I'm a part of, I probably would have quit this journey.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Mom. That's my mother in love. She's watching, but she doesn't have Twitter, so she's not on the blab. Hi, we love you. And yes, it's so important to be a part of these groups, because I probably would have quit my journey if I wasn't surrounded by women who support me, if I wasn't surrounded by people in the different Facebook groups who, like, I remember when I was creating my training, 7 Steps to a Polished Mindset. There were so many things I didn't know how to do that was frustrating me, and all I did was post in one of my Facebook groups. Does anybody understand how to? I don't have PowerPoint on my computer. How do I turn this Move Note into a PowerPoint presentation or turn it into a YouTube presentation? And guess what? I had some people help me, and then I was able to have somebody else help me. And then my brother-in-law was able to help me. But you know what? It's because I was asking questions, but I had the people right there at computer reach, I will call it, to help me along the way. So yes, you need to be surrounded by people who can really guide you, who can really just be that pat on the back and say, you know what, I see you and I see what you're doing, and you're doing a great job, to encourage you. Okay, yes, you can be a computer reach. Yes, we all need that computer reach, because sometimes we might be in a physical environment that's not conducive to our growth. Absolutely. So we have to go to the computer and our online. Yes, find your tribe. And my husband gave me a good idea for our tribe, for what I call the people in our tribe. He said, since you're the Polished lifestyle community, you should be called Gems. So my new name for my tribe members are called Gems. That shout out to Russ, my husband. Okay. So Rachel, I have one more question for you. What is one tip that you will give our audience members for them to end the year with the plan and start the new year off with a bang?
Okay, so I have 3 tips.
With a bang.
So I'm going to keep it short. Okay, so the first tip the other ladies have talked about, and that is your mindset. But for me, it's more specifically having positive affirmations, right? So us have backgrounds where maybe you quote a certain scripture or maybe you have a song. I would say having 3 positive affirmations that like the back of your hand that you say to yourself at every opportunity. So every time you look at your brushing your teeth, you repeat, I am capable of tremendous success. I am loved as I am. I'm going to change somebody's life. Whatever those, keep it simple so that you don't have to, get flustered saying it, but say it, attach it to daily routine. As you're putting on your deodorant, you're doing that every day, multiple times a day. You're right when you're brushing your positive affirmation, and that's the first one, positive affirmation. Second one is progress over perfection. Okay, it's better to take.
I feel like Rachel's speaking directly to me.
It's better to take 3 steps, imperfect steps, than to take nothing. And that is something I still struggle with because, I don't want to come out half stepping. You know what I mean? I don't want to come out like, oh my gosh, she doesn't have XYZ. She's supposed to be a pro, blah, 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 blah. You know what? What I'm giving right now is good. What I'm giving right now can still help you. What I'm giving right now is still going to elevate you to the next step. It may not have all the bells and whistles, but it's good enough to get started, right? So, progress over perfection. And that kind of releases the guilt, right? It gets you off the hook of having to, all my PDFs have the page number on the lower right hand corner. You know what I mean? Come on, really? You're gonna stop your life?
Exactly.
People that want to change their lives tonight, and you're worrying about the page number.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're still gonna love you, whether or not. Yes, start it and figure things out as you go. That's right, Carla. So, and the last one, I say is consistency. You need to have a routine. Okay, so I have not worked in a professional cubicle setting in 11 years. Okay, people who are telecommuters, entrepreneurs that primarily service their people online, serve their clients online, you need to have a routine, or else you're going to be living in a row, watching Netflix, eating popcorn, and not making any money.
Yeah.
Real. I'm not saying that you need to have a 9 to 5, but whatever your peak time where you perform the best, that's what you got to do. Sometimes with my kids, it has to be from 12 to 3 a.m. That works for me. That's, I'm cool with that. Or sometimes it needs to be from 3 to 6 a.m. before anyone wakes up. But you got to be consistent about it, because consistency will build discipline, and discipline is going to help you in your process, and that's where they're going to start seeing results. You can't really just try something 1 or 2 or 3 times and be like, that's whack. I'm never going to do Facebook ads because I tried it and I didn't even get this many clicks and I wasted $10. Okay. You got to keep trying it. You have to keep trying. You got to tweak different things. You got to keep trying it. You got to get better. You got to get smarter. So I would say the last one is consistency. So, those 3 positive affirmations, believe in yourself, reinforce those for yourself, progress over perfection, keep taking little steps, keep moving forward. And then the last one is to be consistent. I think with those 3, you are destined to have an awesome banging 2016. And I hope that you do, because I am I'm wanting it for you just as much as I'm wanting it for myself. Because I really believe there is enough room for Elkie to be a billionaire. I said a billionaire. There's enough room for Sterling.
That's how you speak it. Claim it.
There's enough room for Dana to be a billionaire. There's enough room for Rachel to be a billionaire. You know, there's enough room for Yakina to be a billionaire, for Carla to be a billionaire. You know, I heard today, I was listening to a podcast, right, from Grant Cardone. Billionaire.
Yeah. 10x.
He said, and I listen to him all the time. I got my 6-year-old quoting Grant Cardone. He said that there is enough money in this world for every single person to be a billionaire with a B.
Amen.
Money in circulation in the world to be for every living soul to be a billionaire. Blow your mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't that
That's
my mind? And I heard that today, but I heard it, I heard it a couple of days ago when I listened to it. I'm like, that completely kills any kind of scarcity mentality. You know what I mean? Here I am fighting for these scraps when I need to have on the prize. Like, that puts different things in perspective as far as how you move, you connect with what you do. You know, I totally agree that you got to crawl before you walk, but you got to make sure that your goals are the right goals, so that when you get there, you are happy. The worst thing you want to do is achieve your goal and be like, ugh, right? Like you go to a new restaurant and you're like, oh my gosh, this shrimp, I'm going to get this shrimp. And you get exactly what you want and you don't like it.
Yeah.
So, you make sure with your goals that you are making them the right goals. So have a great week.
Yes.
These are the ladies you can connect with. The group, the Facebook group you can share your hopes and dreams with. Ask for assistance. I'm going to be in there because I know Sterling and Elkie, you guys have touched so many people, and I really believe in what you're doing. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Rachel, can you please write in the chat box where people can follow you?
Yes, I will.
And thank you so much. Love you. And I see us talking about thinking about positive affirmations and making setting the intention. I see us having retreats all over the world, traveling.
Fiji, just so you guys know, I just come to myself that I'm going to have a retreat in Fiji in 2016. Okay.
Nice.
Know about it. I'm going to need your help for presenters, but it's going to happen in Fiji in 2016.
All right.
We will be there, and you know it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Claim it.
I'm so excited, and I just feel like, and I want everybody on this TeleSummit right now to think about the different gifts and talents. Some of you might call it information because you don't think of it as a gift or a talent, but you have something that other people can benefit from.
Yes.
And if you keep quiet about it, you keep it in your back pocket because you're concerned about how your hair looks. You're concerned about your weight. You're concerned about not being the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah.
You are stopping other people from their blessings because you have information that can revolutionize somebody's life. You have, like Aisha said, you're worried about the number on the ebook or on the PDF file. When that information can change someone's life. You can literally save someone from committing suicide. I heard about this recently on someone's Periscope. They were saying that they were holding off for so long to do this teleconference that they do every morning. And on this one day, someone emailed them and said that, thank you for having this teleconference because I saw someone post about it and I was on my way to go and kill myself. Do you understand the power in the information that you have to give people? The power in you sharing your story, your gifts, your talents. You can literally change someone's life. I want you to understand this here today. you literally can change someone's life. You can change your own life by following through on the things that are tugging at your heart. So I wanted to give a quick recap before we talk to you about an amazing opportunity for us to play together. So a recap on how you can lead and shine bright in 2016. So don't let your goals, the position, the money you have obtained dictate in leading your life, but seek for true happiness, because that's what's going to have you shining bright, not the different accolades that the outside world sees. Is you really truly being happy, okay? Test it out, try it, take action. You have to try it to know if it works, all right? The other one was step outside of your comfort zone. Everything you want is on the other side of your comfort zone, okay? If you just seek to be comfortable, let me tell you something. You're going to stay in that same position you've always been. If you do not seek to be uncomfortable, you're going to stay in that same position you've always been, okay? Don't let convenience stop you from doing the things that you want to do in your life. Be intentional. Set your intentions. Really take the time to think about those things that you want and be intentional about seeking them. Be intentional about striving for those goals. Then say, I think Elke said this. Tell me if I'm saying this wrong. I think you said see the impossible as possible.
Yeah.
Okay? Put in your mind that those things you want, those things that look so impossible to you, start asking yourself, how can I do it? Rather than saying you can't do it. Change your language. Elke talked about changing your language, and all the other ladies actually, when I think about it, talked about the inner conversation that you're having with yourself. Change your language. Start replacing the I can'ts with the I can. All right? Change your language. Change the conversation you're having. Start journaling. Write down every day the things that you're grateful for and then the things that you want. Don't use your journal as a venting session. And I think Rachel brought up that point. Take a leap of faith. You have to step out on faith and believe in yourself. All right? And let me see. I think there was a couple other ones. Change the things you are doing. I think Dana spoke about that. Change the things that you're currently doing that are not giving you the results that you want.
Yeah.
All right? The other one is surround yourself with like-minded people. If you're around people all the time that are having how can I put it? They have an employee mindset. They have a negative mindset. They are thinking about all the reasons why something are going to fail. You need to eject yourself from that conversation immediately.
Yep.
I'm not saying drop them as your friend. Just limit the conversations you're having with them about your success. Those are the dream stealers. Stop having conversation with people who are going to remind you of all the reasons why it doesn't work. Listen, Elke and Dana and I, we created our own little chat group where we have conversations on a daily basis about how we're going to achieve our goals.
Yep.
And we don't allow ourselves to can't. If we can't figure out something, the other person is going to help us.
Yep.
If we're stuck on something, you need to find your group that's like that. And I want to offer you again, Elke, could you repost it, the Polished Lifestyle group? The link to it. I created that group with you all in mind because I want you to have that space to be able to dream awake, okay? To be able to set the intentions for the different things you want for your life, okay? The other one that Rachel just ended with was positive affirmations. And all the women on this group talked about how they made changes in their life. It was by shifting their mindset.
Everyone said pretty much in the day. It was a day that they made the decision to change. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so like, I don't know how to stress that. We might need to do a TeleSummit on mindset itself. I do have a training, and I will post it in there on polishing your mindset. But I think we need to do a whole separate conversation on that because it's so powerful. It's so powerful that you can literally change your life overnight if you shift what's going on in your head. The other one was progress over perfection.
Love that.
Stop trying to be perfect, people. And I'm talking to myself as I tell you this, because a lot of times we hold off on our amazing gifts and talents, sharing it with the world because we're afraid that it's not perfect. We're afraid, like I'll tell you, this is not even a joke. I haven't been on Periscope in a week because my hair was jacked up. And I was like, these people are being like, what? I'm being so serious. I was like, you see, here I am telling people about leading and shining bright in their life, and I'm afraid to get on Periscope because of my hair. I'm gonna get it together, and I'm just being transparent. Think about how many things, how many things are stopping you from doing what you know can yield you some amazing results, significant things. And people are gonna love you and need to hear your message. Does it really matter what you look like at this moment? Does it matter that you gained an extra 50 pounds? Your health, it matters, yes. But does it matter the outside look, what people are going to think about you? No, it really doesn't. Does it matter that I have on a t-shirt right now? No. Does it matter that Dana put on her hoodie? No. I love it, by the way. That looks like a little scarf thing. It looks really cute.
No,
It's a scarf.
I was going to ask you about it later, Dana.
I was going to say, where can I love that.
It's just my style, black and hoodie. I love it.
Right? you know what I mean? So progress over perfection, one step at a time. One step at a time, okay? And then, this is so important, have a routine. Be consistent. And this is for all of our entrepreneurs I'm not gonna say for entrepreneurs, because this could be if you're on a health journey. This could be if you are trying to start, maybe teach your kid how to read. I don't know. It could be any part of your life that you want to improve. You have to be consistent. You have to have a routine, because if you don't plan, our dad always says this: if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
That's true.
So you have to have.
You can always plan, but you never plan to fail.
Yes, exactly. Right?
No matter what.
You have to make sure that you set the intention for your routine, and then you're consistent with it. Because that's the only way you're going to see results. And this is really awesome when we think about New Year's resolutions. So before we know it, 2016 is going to be here. And everybody and their mama are going to be doing New Year's resolutions. Right? But if you don't set your routine, and if you're not consistent, November 22nd, 2016 is going to be here, and we're going to be having that same conversation. And you're not going to have completed those goals that you have for yourself. So I'm urging you to really set your routine. Be consistent, and you will yield the goals and results that you want. On that note, I want to talk to you about an opportunity. Oh, she disappeared. I want to talk to you about an opportunity to play with Elke and I. So we know that we cannot do this by ourselves. We all here, everybody that you had on this blab tonight, on this TeleSummit, we all have coaches. We all have hired people to help us progress. And if you look at any profession, whether it's a sports team, basketball, they're a basketball player, they are a business owner, Oprah, all of those people have coaches.
Yeah.
Because
Oprah has several.
Yeah, Oprah has 7 coaches, actually 7. She talked about this. She has 7 people that teach her in different areas of her life how to reach her goals. So tonight, we want to offer you an opportunity to work with us. We have a program that's going to start on January 4th, and it's called Dream Awake. It's our Dream Awake course, and it's a group coaching course. So you are going to have the opportunity to be on this journey with other women. Okay? This Dream Awake course is about teaching you how to not sleep on your dreams anymore. So what does that mean? Many of us have goals and dreams that we want to achieve. But when we wake up in the morning, we allow those dreams to stay in our bedroom. We allow those dreams to stay in our sleep. And we don't work towards them. We want to teach you our formula to dreaming awake. We want to teach you how you can take those steps daily to make sure that those dreams come to fruition. So some of the things that you're going to be learning in this course is realizing that you are sleeping on your dreams. First, you have to realize it. That's the first step to making a change in your life, is realizing that you're not doing the right things. Realizing and admitting to the fact that you're sleeping on your dreams. Okay? The other thing is, are you allowing are you living someone else's dream? So what does that mean? If you are working more on improving someone else's business, someone else's life, and not working on improving your own, you're most likely sleeping on your dreams and trying to fulfill someone else's. Another thing we're going to talk about is finding your true passion. Finding your true passion and making a living doing what you love. Okay? The other thing we're going to talk about is eliminating your barriers, getting out of your own way. And all the women on here talked about that tonight. You have to get out of your own way, because there's no one else stopping you from achieving the things you want to do, right? It's you standing your own way. Clearing your mind from the junk. So this is, are you watching news 24/7? Are you watching the news 24/7? Are you reading books that are filling your mind with crap? Are you listening to music that is all about a bunch of negativity? You have to clear your mind from the junk. Worried about what other people think, feel insecure. This is so big. You have to make sure that you are eliminating other people's opinions about your life and not really worried about it. Allowing time to be a factor. It takes time for you to achieve your goals. Yes, shifting your mindset can change your life overnight, but it takes time for those goals to come to fruition. It takes time for those dreams to manifest in your life. So we're going to teach you about that. We're going to teach you about defining your inner strength. And also goal setting. And that's a big one. How do you goal set? You hear us talk a lot about goals, but you need to learn the proper way of goal setting. There's a formula to goal setting. All right. So, Elke, I'm going to let you speak a little bit about the course and some of the things that we will be doing. And let me know if you need a minute. But this course is going to be something that is going to set you up for the new year. It's going to allow you the opportunity to learn the steps to dreaming awake, to learn how you can put forward that progress rather than being perfect, right?
Yes.
So, Elke, I'm going to let you go ahead.
So this program, we're looking for it to be a 2-week intensive to jumpstart your new year. So the process should be like a Monday through Friday with a check-in throughout the week to make sure you're staying on task. There'll be assignments per module that we have. And the course will start after the new year. Our goal is to have you enjoy your holidays, but get to work the minute the new year starts. So we're looking to start January 4th. Which will be about a month and a half from now. But just to get you started for the year, because we know New Year's resolutions, we all make them, but they don't stick because there's poor planning behind it. and there's not consistency. So we want to give you the tools you need to put some plans in place, create some goals, and make them successful for you to carry them throughout the year. So right now we're running a special for those that sign up. The price right now is on our PayPal page. Ms. Sterling just showed you the link. That's only going to be for a few weeks, and then it'll go back to the regular price that we would charge. And for the first 5 people that sign up, we will give them our book, 10 Steps to Dreaming Awake. Are You Sleeping on Your Dreams? Our ebook that we've published, self-published. So we hope that this journey that you're taking, you use this opportunity to get you started and get you on your way, because you need accountability. You could goal set all day, but if you don't have that accountability piece, you're not going to accomplish your goal. So that's what we're going to provide, that accountability, that the tools you need, the framework, and also just help you with that change in mindset. That's got to go along with it. You've got to be ready to do something like this, because if your mindset hasn't been dealt with and you're not fully ready, you're not going to see success. So we want to make sure your mindset is right while you're doing this. So we're going to work on that as well.
And what's so awesome? Thank you, Elkie. Oh, I sound like I'm echoing. Am I echoing?
Yeah, I think I was too for some reason. I don't know why.
No, you sounded great.
Okay.
So, and what's so awesome how things work out. We talked a lot about affirmations and mindset on this call tonight, and that's some of the things you're gonna get in this training. You're gonna get downloadable affirmation cards that you can print out and put up in your wall, on your wall. Because we know the power of affirmations. They're so powerful to helping you achieve those goals. And you're going to be able to do this with a group. So we talked about this accountability and growing alongside other like-minded people. We cannot stress enough the importance of not going at it alone.
Yeah. Okay,
we need to be around people who are going to support us when things don't feel easy, when things are getting down, when the reality hits that, you know what, I made these resolutions, but I'm halfway through the year and it hasn't worked out. That's happened to us time and time and time again, year after year after year. And I'm telling you, Elkie and I, we have, because we're the creator of this book, we have done this formula. And this is why within a year, we've been able to achieve so many things, because we have used this formula, this very formula that we're going to give to you, to bring those dreams and gifts, to bring those dreams to fruition, and using our talents and gifts to share with the world. So the link is posted below. You can go to that link, and if you go right now, that price is only going to stay that way for the next couple of weeks, and then the price is going to go up. But we urge you to take advantage of that price now, so you're not waiting until after the holidays when you spend all your money on Christmas gifts, and you're allowing. And this is what when we talk about leading and shining in your life, we don't want you to allow debt to lead in your life. Mm-hmm. And now you have to, and you're putting the things that are going to help you on the back burner.
Yes.
Okay. So we want you to put your success, we want you to put your growth, your personal development in the forefront right now. Okay. We want you to take the opportunity now to lead and shine bright in 2016. We've heard from all the ladies tonight. You've heard some of the tips. And one of the things I want to leave you with tonight is no one else is going to make the changes that you need to succeed in your life but you. You have to make that first step. You have to decide and shift your mind that 2016 is going to be your year. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, that's something I did in 2015. I said, you know what? I've gotten the training. I've gotten the tools and resources. Now I have to make the decision to implement those things. Now I have to make a decision that 2015 is going to be my year. And I did that, and I can stand here and tell you that, you know what, the road wasn't easy, but it was so worth it. It was so worth it because now I'm able to share my gifts with the world. And now tonight, I had the opportunity to share it with you, with amazing women. And I just urge you to do the same for yourself, because we could talk here all night until midnight. But I urge you to make the decisions necessary for you to be able to lead in your own life, for you to be able to shine. And when you hear me say shine, I don't know if I went over that, but when you hear me say shine, I mean do what you do best, and work in your genius. Do that thing that you know will inspire other people and inspire yourself. That's what shining bright is. Being your true, authentic self, allowing the gifts that God gave you to just shine through where people see you. Okay, that's what I mean. So I'm gonna, Elkie, do you have any final thoughts before I close?
No, Stone, you said pretty much what you summed it up really well, and that is, our gifts aren't going to come through unless we deliver on it. We have to deliver them. So how are we going to deliver them if we haven't packaged them in the way that is possible for people to receive it? So part of that packaging is working on our self-development, working on ourselves, and making sure that we remove the tarnish and the stuff that's weighing us down, the things that are keeping us really feeling like we can't do more than what we're doing. We've got to remove those barriers, and we've got to remove those things that are harming our progress. So I know 2016 is going to be great. I already foresee it. Like, I'm not even worried. I think it's going to be a great year. I think it's going to be awesome. I think we have so many things in place that are going to make things work for others. We don't do this because it's going to benefit us. Like, we get some benefit, but I know, and I speak for Sterling when I say this, like, the benefit comes when we see other people doing it. Like, when we see other people thriving, when we see other people really getting what they need, and we see them thriving off of the gifts we bring. Like, that is amazing. When I can see someone go from A to Z, like, I could watch that process unfold and see them change the way they thought about themselves. It's impressive. And if it means we're doing that through the way we live, through what we do, then, God bless it. God bless this journey that we're all on. So I'm hoping you join us on this new journey into dreaming awake and making sure we make it happen for ourselves in 2016.
Yes. And with that said, my name is Sterling Clinton Spellman, the Polisher, CEO of Polish, where I teach women how to shine bright and lead in all areas of their life to inspire others, but most importantly, to inspire themselves. Have a blessed night. That concludes our Polish Lead and Shine Bright in 2016 TeleSummit. I hope you have a blessed night, and God bless you. Ladies, thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for staying up with us.